situation in Ukraine took center stage as official members from over 30 countries came to have coffee and strategize for the future as the 10th Bar Ilan Ambassadors Forum convened this morning.
Not all 28 members of the EU.
Among the countries who RSVP'd to participate at the forum were also the Ukraine and Russia. However, their ambassadors failed to show up for the event. The representative of neighboring country Poland, who was present, expressed great concern about the escalating situation in the region.
I think that the situation in Ukraine is very important for Poland, and we try to act for the integration and Ukrainian approach to Europe. Poland would like to preserve the integrity, independence of the Ukraine. It is very important for our policy, and we would like to have best possible relation with the Ukraine. That is our neighbor, and we have a lot of interest in this country.
The EU ambassador to Israel, Lars Anderson, agrees the Ukraine crisis has potential to spill over to the rest of Europe, something the EU member states are worried about. Anderson also shared with us a topic brought up at the forum regarding Russia's growing involvement in the Middle East, something he believes needs to be watched closely.
Our leaders are meeting on it almost weekly, and it is an extremely important issue for Europe, of course. We had a very interesting briefing on the role of Russia in the region, and I think that was extremely enlightening.
Casper Veldkamp, the ambassador of the Netherlands in Israel, has deep concerns about what the crisis in the Ukraine will do to Europe as a whole.
It's of course very worrying, not only about Ukraine itself and the Crimea, but also about what impact it can have on the relations between Russia and Europe, and Russia and the Western world in general. And also here discussed at the forum where also the topics of how it would impact on this region, on the Middle East. I wouldn't want to use the word of Cold War. The situation is very worrisome because we cannot manage the world very well with a Western world and a Russian Federation that are opposed to each other.
Coming from the world of logical mathematics, the newly elected president of Host Establishment, Professor Daniel Hershkovitz, believes that today academia has become a bridge for countries at odds to be able to come and talk to each other.
You may see countries that are odd, and in fact it looks that they have nothing in common, definitely no common language, but here, they all employ the same science. The language of science has become the international language. That language is being developed in universities. So as such, I do think that really the natural place for such a gathering, for ambassadors from many countries, is university. And because that's really the site where we develop and we try to really enhance the dialogue between different people.
To Moscow.
It's hard to say if the winning formula for the crisis in the Ukraine is going to come out of this forum, but what is sure is getting representatives from so many countries into one room to talk about it is truly a step in the right direction. For JN1, I'm Jacobsohn at Bar Ilan University.